All right. This is not a trick question. Who all in here likes music? Hands going up everywhere. What kind of music do you like? Anybody like country music? Anybody like that old timey rock and roll from? There's a bunch of hands going up then. That was the area I grew up in. And I know we have people that like religious music and everything like that. Does everybody know who George Jones was? Possum. In 1985, he released a song titled, "Who's Gonna Fill Their Shoes?" I'm fixing to read Luke 10, first two verses. After the Lord appointed 72 others, sent them out two by two, ahead of him to every town and place where he was going to go, he told them, "The harvest is plentiful, the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers into the harvest field." There were more than 12 people following Jesus Christ as he traveled throughout the Galilean countryside from town to town. It tells us that he sent out 72. Now then, were they unique in their qualifications? Probably not. Were they better educated than everybody else? Probably not. Had a higher status than Jesus? Don't think so. What equipped them for this mission? Jesus' power and a vision to reach all the people. You know, Christian service doesn't have any unemployment. We can all be employed with some type of Christian service. But Jesus encouraged workers here, but he also, it says, ask the Lord of the harvest. Ask the Lord. Pray to the Lord. Pray to the Lord that the harvest is going to be good. We need to be praying ourselves as a church that we have a harvest. The harvest is out there, not always easy to reach, but we need to pray. We need to pray that we're able to reach the harvest. That came from the pastor, one of the pastors in the association, 2 or 3 months ago. And he said what meant more to him than anything when he was first starting out as a pastor was encouragement. So encourage any young person we may run across that might be trying to serve the Lord. He said that meant more to him when he was first starting to preach than anything else. And he named the 2 guys that were the biggest encouragers in the Caldwell Line Association, and some of y'all here are going to know who they are. One was Brother Harold Greenfield, and the other was Richard Tapscott. He said those 2 guys encouraged him more than anyone else. Of course, Richard Tapscott used to be a pastor here several years ago. And then at our last association meeting, Different church, different speaker, different set of verses, but the same idea. I got to find where I'm at here. He spoke from Matthew chapter 9, verses 36 through 38. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Ask the Lord of the harvest, therefore, to send out workers until his harvest field." And I'm not going to do what this guy done. He sang a song. So y'all know that's not going to happen. And I've got to get out my phone to find the words to it. I should have already got the phone out, but I didn't. But he sang a song, and some of y'all will know the song. I didn't. The first time I'd heard it, I think. My house is full, but my field is empty. I see some nodding going on of some that know the song, heard the song. When he's talking about his house being full, he's not talking about it being full of people. You know, he's talking about the church, okay, church building. But he's talking about it being an abundance of spiritual blessings there within the church. What's available to the lost. The building is full of blessings if they just realize that they are lost and will come and have someone help lead them to Christ. But he says, but my field is empty. This represents the world outside. There is a need for evangelism. There is a need for service. There are many that are lost and need help. The emptiness of the field signifies the lack of engagement from believers. So this song poses a challenge to believers to go to work in the fields of service. And maybe my lyrics have come up. It don't work as fast down here as it does at home. Well, I don't know if it's going to get opened up or not. It starts out, though, and some of y'all know the song. I don't think there'd be a book here that's got it in it. Starts out, though, says, "My house is full, but my field is empty. Who will go and work for me today? It seems my children," which would be Christians, "all want to stay around my table. But no one," and I don't have the rest of it, it ain't there. "But no one wants to work," and I mean to say in the field. But anyway, it goes on, 2 or 3 lyrics like that. It's always, God is saying the house is full. The house is full of spiritual evangelism. But the field doesn't have the workers there. We need to realize we need to be workers. Anybody with a comment or a question before we dismiss? Yes, Amy.
I would just like to say that I was very blessed this morning. We started school. It was crazy. Didn't start on time at all. But they still come on. The kids did their pledge like normal every day. And then the principal said, everyone needs to be in their seat and quiet. She said, we are going to have a moment of silence. Nobody knew what it was about. I hadn't seen anything until later that day. I got an email and it stated what that moment of silence was for. It said the kids could pray, meditate, whatever else they wanted to do during that silent time that did not disrupt others. Then it said, we are not, any school employee will not tell your child what they can do during that time, but it will be available.
Available. Okay.
So I was very blessed to know that was the first, they can pray.
Mhm.
So,
That's true. That's true. But both of those, hey, here we go. Another verse. There is peace and contentment in my Father's house today. Lots of food on the table, and no one is turned away. There is singing and laughter as the hours pass by, but a hush comes the singing as the father sadly cries. My house is full, but my field is empty. Who will go and work for me today? It seems my children all want to stay around my table, but no one wants to work in my field. No one wants to work in my field. Any other questions? There's still another verse, but it ain't come up there yet. Yeah, I'll practice singing. Oh, it's certainly good to see everyone tonight. Any questions? Kyle, would you dismiss us?
Father, we